Insights with Terri Ep.180 a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Ep.180. Here's Terri.
Hi everyone, this is Terri, and you're listening to Insights with Terri Ep.180. Thank you for joining me to explore together the week of August the 4th through the 11th, 2024. Let's see where that takes us. The sun sign is still in Leo, and that's that fiery, impulsive energy that can be a little bit lazy at times, but does need to jump up every once in a while, just like the cat. During a time when Leo is ahead of us like this, the suggestion is, if you want to get along with people, a lot of people will thrive on compliments that are sincere and praise, and I'm not saying stroking ego necessarily, but it's an energy field that people can soak it up and they need it. So if you can find in your travels and come across people that do something nice for you, or you enjoy a certain aspect of that person's personality, it would really help them if something nice was said to them, about them. If they heard it secondhand or from you, it would go a long way to making a person feel pretty good, and sometimes it's nice to make people feel good. And then Mercury, the planet of the mind, how we think, how we communicate, that's in Virgo, and that will be going retrograde on the 5th. Now, many of us are already feeling that. The sensitive people will feel that a week ago. When it changes like that, it can be a little bit rough for sensitive people. So just bear that in mind. That change can throw us off balance a little bit. And if you're feeling off balance, it's normal. It doesn't make it any easier, but it's normal. And it being in Virgo, Virgo's ruling planet is Mercury, so it's pretty concentrated energy. So where the disruption might be is that normally you might be fastidious about something and you let something go and get yourself into trouble. And it could be confusing because you could say to yourself, I don't do this. This isn't something I normally do. Well, it's supposed to do a few things. It's supposed to reaffirm that the reason you don't do these things is because it does make it more complicated and more difficult to work with. So they're suggesting, just look at, am I procrastinating? Or am I just putting it off to a truly better time? Really look at your self-talk and look at what you're saying. Is it true or not about yourself? And then Venus, the planet of love and beauty and attraction, is also in Virgo. Now it just moved from Leo, so it's in Virgo, and that will make us a little picky in relationships. Now, picky sometimes isn't that bad. If you're picking at a relationship and tearing scabs off and making it terrible, that's not good. But this is meant, and we don't always get to use it the way it's meant, but this is meant to help us understand ourselves, to go through a checklist as to what our personality is like. What do I find attractive in other people and about myself? What do I have to offer? What do I bring to the plate? Now, the challenge of having Virgo in both Mercury and Venus is worry. We're under a cloud of worry, and if we don't get a hold of it, it can cause some physical issues. So just be aware of that you could cause yourself some problems if you're not careful. So what we have to do is look at what am I worrying about? Is this important? Do I need to worry about it? Or maybe I can do something about it. It's kind of like the serenity prayer. I'm not going to go through it because I expect that most people know it now. It's pretty out there. I don't mean out there weird. I mean it's pretty available to most people. So in this, we may be pushed a little bit harder to worry, and you don't want to go down that road. So the suggestion from the guides is that if and when you're starting to recognize that you're worrying, try to identify it. Why am I worrying? What am I worrying about? How do I make my body okay with this and my mind? Get it done and get it off my plate. So this can be mundane as it could possibly be, or it can be big. It can be both. So just look at what scenario it is that's causing most of your disruption. They're going to bring it to our attention this week. Well, actually, maybe for a couple of weeks. And then we are supposed to start learning about ourselves. Oh, when this happens, I can't eat. When I get worried, this can occur. So it's just suggesting, I guess, maybe self-awareness, looking at why things are happening and what's happening. And this is going to be tied directly to our health, kids. When Virgo is in this position, we feel a need to be healthy and want to achieve healthiness. So this is where a lot of people take out gym memberships. They may not use them, but they take them out, I guess, at osmosis. Or they make a plan for themselves to go for a walk every day. They just start to change things up to try to make it healthier. Now, the planet of Mars is our passion and our drive. That's still in Gemini. I've talked about it till I'm blue. You must be blue. It's just communication. And I don't mean just that it's a small thing. It's not a small thing. Communication is not a small thing. So they're asking us to work towards good communication skills. That can mean diplomacy, not rudeness. That can mean trying to help another person see your side of something without force. You might want to force them, but we're not supposed to force them. This is supposed to be about being able to, how would I say it? It's about being able to try to look at the situation and say, okay, I can't force this, but how could I make this a reliable informational section? How could I do this? So that's what this is about, is good communication. Enjoy to pieces the people that you communicate with. Try not to accept invitations with people that you're not, how would you say it? Not that you don't like necessarily, but that you wouldn't choose if you didn't have to be afraid of looking bad. So it's an energy field of sharing some pretty darn good ideas, maybe taking some home yourself with this, and or just sharing them and opening up your eyes. Somebody said something the other day that reminded me of this, because I got the information a little bit earlier in the week, earlier than I normally do, which I knew that's, if I did it early, I'd start looking into it. Can't help it. It's just the nature of the beast, right? So knowing that and given that, I tried to be a little bit more step backy. That's not a word, but I'm making it a word. So with this type of thinking, they want you to just open your mind up to different possibilities. An example of that, stupid example, but an example. When I was young, nobody spayed or neutered their dogs. You couldn't afford it, and it just wasn't a thing. There were puppies everywhere. Then the push, neuter them almost at birth. They really got too early, and they were causing health problems for the dogs by getting neutered too early. Cancer, hormone imbalances, etc., etc. Now they're looking at new data, which is bitches can be maybe the first or the second heat and not die of mastitis. Not mastitis, cancer in the mammary glands. And males won't die of prostate if they mature and have the growth platelets mature, and that helps lameness and different difficulties. Well, that's hard to adjust your mind to such a swing in thought, but we need to be open-minded, because as science is always in flux, new information comes in and new understandings come in, which also makes people not trust science. But science is only as good as the day of the experiment, and then a new experiment can come in and that can change too. So we have to be flexible and adaptable, and we don't have to swallow it hook, line, and sinker. But with Gemini in Mars, we'll be challenged to open our minds up to new thinking, maybe new information, and say, does that work for me? Now, the beginning of the week, we may have some pressure put on our heart, the aorta, blood pressure, and circulation. If you are vulnerable in that area, just be careful. It's a possibility that it could put more pressure than your heart could handle. And that could be the emotional heart and the physical heart, leaning more towards the physical heart. So just take care of those body parts. Then as the week matures, we'll be looking more at moving that down to the pancreas, the small intestine, our digestive tract, and watch the foods you choose, because this can really play havoc with your body. You'll feel like you have a terrible, terrible flu, and it's not, and it'll go on longer. Then towards the end of the week, we're looking at vulnerability in kidneys, the bladder, the urethra. So if you tend towards kidney infections, if you tend towards bladder infections, or weakened kidneys, just keep an eye on those body parts, because this could be a little bit of a difficulty here, and you just want to help those little body parts limp along. The number that was given to us with the companion planets is number 2, and it is supposed to offer us more tolerance and more kindness. Boy, I don't mind seeing that, I'll tell you. I'm working on that myself. It was give us really good intuition. So if you get hit by an intuitive wave in this next week, go with it. As long as it makes sense, go with it. It's telling us that it's good to listen to others, and that we can't open our minds and accept new ideas if we don't listen. And it's asking us to be patient and learn the art of diplomacy, which has really gone by the wayside in most cases. If we're not careful, we could lack courage. And that courage was supposed to be there to implement our plans, and then it could maybe make us take a back seat and let others take the initiative, or leave that to first start to other people. It's not supposed to be the best thing for this week, so if you feel that you can afford initiative and you think you're going in the right direction, maybe you want to jump on that bandwagon. Relationships, because of Leo in the position that it is, relationships, friendships, your emotional life will be very important to you. It's going to really float to the surface. And we'll be given the ability to reconcile with maybe people that we've been in a dispute with, or that we don't agree with necessarily, and it will offer us the energy of successfully cooperating with other people, which is really nice. I'd like to see a lot of that too. Weaknesses in number 2, where the planets are, is we may look at clinging too much, and it won't be in our best interest. Clinging to maybe our property, or clinging to an idea that's outmoded, clinging to bad behaviors or behavior patterns that are dysfunctional. We'll be bothered because of that Virgo energy by small problems. These are small nitty things, and we're not going to be able to let it go, because Virgo is going to say, nope, I want to worry about it. What else have I got to do but worry? So take a look at it. Is it a small problem? Is it a big problem? Does it need to be fixed right now, or can we let it go for a little bit? And watch for too much passivity, and we may tend to just, whatever, just give in to circumstances when we are not supposed to. So they're just asking for us to pay attention to that. Those are the weaknesses of number 2 with these planets. So that's pretty well it, kids, in a nutshell. I thank you so much for your time, and that's no greater gift than giving time to another person and listening. And I really want to thank Charlie O'Brien for doing this, putting it on Spotify podcasts, Apple iTunes, Amazon Music, SoundCloud, YouTube, and he'll give me the link at the appropriate time, and I'll put that on Facebook. And he created the website, www.terriworld.com. So if you, he's got the last 4 or 5 podcasts archived if you've missed them, or if you just want to kind of go over them again. So they'll be there, and he made that website. He created that website, all the photography, everything. So if you have a website that you need tweaking or you want to do it, he's the guy that can really help you out. So I thank you, Charlie, for doing this for us, for all of us. It's a gift, and it is a gift. He does it out of the goodness of his huge heart. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank all of you for taking the time to listen to me. As you can tell, my voice is starting to leave me. Lots of readings today. If you need a reading for yourself and you'd like me to direct it to and at you personally, give me a call or text 519-726-6699, or you can email me at terri.coutts@gmail.com. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you have a lovely week. I think there's a long weekend coming up. Yeah, there is. Enjoy. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Visit Terri's website at terriworld.com. TERRI world.com.